Well, for me, one of the things that I've got to learn about life is looking at people's experiences and their encounters, not only with God, but humans, our friends, our families, our people who are placed to teach us, help us learn lessons, and of course, to teach us to number our days as well. I'm saying this also because when you look at Romans 12, after you continually read down, there's that last particular portion that talks about love in action. And I just want to share this particular one with you, Romans 12:19. If you have time, you can read before the 19, of course, 18, 17, 18, before 19. But for people who say, I've gone through a lot and I need to take revenge, I need to avenge on my own, I need to go fight, I need to, look, don't spend a lot of time. And this is what the Bible says, Romans 12, verse 19. Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. Now, this is my very, very interesting part. For it is written, it's mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord. So for me, one of the lessons I've learned over the period of time is that it's not all battles that you have to fight. Sometimes focus on the love of God and allow room for the wrath of God as well. And that's my message to you as you go out there, forget about the battles. Just make sure that you're progressive in nature. Do what you have to do to feed family and friends, and God himself will take care of the rest. Welcome indeed to the show. My name is Koku Lumo, and this is Wake Up Africa. It starts from 6:30 a.m. where we get to serve you with a lot of tunes that lift up your spirit and prepares you for a day like this. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a very soft one as well, depending on how you see it, especially when you ask God to be a part of it. Start off with us, because we're going to be sharing with you what's happening in the world of weather by way of reports. You can see it's a very rainy day already, drizzling in parts of the country, wet in parts of the country as well. Just make sure you are ready for what is to come. We get to celebrate birthdays as well. Later on, I'll share with you headlines of news around the world, on the continent of Africa, and also here on the local scene. And then we get into the news review segment where we get to share with you our perspectives and thoughts on the news making headlines. There's also sports and all of it coming up. You want to spend your time with us, make sure that you like all our pages, My Dominion TV, from Facebook to Instagram to X, and of course on YouTube where we are streaming live. Welcome to the show indeed. We'll take a breather. When we come back, I'll get to share with you updates in the world of weather. Stay with us.
I want to welcome you to Wake Up Africa Morning Show. If Africa has ever needed to wake up, it's now. I promise you that this Wake Up Africa Morning Show will impact your life. It will illuminate you. The Bible said that thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You need this insight. You need the understanding required to make all the difference in all of our lives. I want you not just to tune in to the Wake Up Africa Morning Show, but I want you to be a sponsor. I want you to partner with us as we take this Wake Up Africa Morning Show, the inspiration it brings, the impact across all Africa, to homes, to individuals, impacting lives. Join us to make a difference. It is said and believed that in this life, what you do to change the life of others matters than what you acquire for yourself. It is believed that it's not what you have, what you possess that matters, but the difference you made in the life of others. I believe as you partner with Wake Up Africa Morning Show, you'll be joining us to make a difference in the life of so many people out there. Partner with us, and every time we touch a life, you are blessed. Every time we impact a family, you'll be remembered for good. God bless you. Looking forward to partnering with you and tuning in to Wake Up Africa Morning Show.
Well, partner with us, be a big part of our show. We're excited that you can do business with us. Remember, some are doing business with us already. A big thanks to Aqua Clear Mineral Water and, of course, the Bank Hospital for always connecting with us. You can also have space, the space for everyone. And we have exciting shows coming up, and I can assure you there's going to be exciting days. Remember, if you just joined us, drop your comments, your thoughts, and every other thing that you have, I'll get to share with the world. Well, let me share some updates with you in the world of weather. In general, the weather over Ghana will be dominated by mostly cloudy weather with chances of slight to moderate rains occurring intermittently, as well as occasional thunderstorms across all sectors this morning into the afternoon. However, early morning mist and fog patches are expected to form and reduce visibility over mountainous and forest areas. Let me just quickly take you through some of the places. Let me start off with Plau. You're looking at slight rain, 30% chance. Accra, slight rain, 30% chance. Kaswa, slight rain, 30% chance. Cape Coast, cloudy. Takrady is going to be cloudy this morning into the afternoon. As said, Axim, cloudy. Morning, afternoon, also cloudy. Who is going to have rain 40%, rain in the morning and afternoon, rain 40%. You're going to also have same in Akimodan and Kumasi will have a fair share of rain this morning and cloudiness in the afternoon. Obuasi will also have rain in the morning and some cloudiness also in the afternoon. Takwa will be cloudy in the morning and same in the afternoon, same as Seshibekwai. Ketekrachi will have 30% rain and same also in the afternoon and all the rest as well. From the north, they also have some cloudiness in the morning and of course some cloudiness in the afternoon. So make sure that, as always, you can head to the Ghana Meteorological Service page, Facebook page. Most of us are on Facebook, right? And you find most of the updates there. Because it's going to be a rainy year, make sure that you read and have yourself abreast with what's happening in the world of weather, right? And so that's it. Well, let's get ourselves ready now and do birthdays. Let's celebrate our brothers and sisters who are celebrating today.
Yeah, it's your birthday. It's your day, one day out of 365. It's your day, one day out of 365. Happy birthday, ooh, to you. Happy birthday, yeah, to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, yeah, it's your birthday. It's your day, one day out of 365. It's your day, one day out of 365. Happy birthday, ooh, to you. Happy birthday, yeah, to you. Happy birthday.
And so happy birthday to these wonderful souls. We're grateful to God for your lives. We're praying that God will establish you even the more, sustain your life, and draw you closer to Him. Well, there are some birthdays as well before I get on to some specials in-house. Today's the birthday of the acting CEO of the National Malaria Elimination Program, Dr. Hilarious, A.K. Abiu. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday. We're praying for you to succeed all the time. We know what you can do. You are going to do it, and we pray that God will sustain you. Today is also a man that we've had on the show a couple of times, Komla Jidepo. Happy birthday of Node 8. Today's your birthday as well. Same is for Ellie Kulgon. We are also praying for you. But of course, some in-house birthdays, make sure you also always send yours. First off, from Pastor Sam Jonah to Deacon Joshua, there's a happy birthday to you, Deacon Joshua. And this is coming from Pastor Sam Jonah to you. Celebrate grace. Let God establish you more. May his face shine upon you. May your days bring glory to him as well, in Jesus' name. And also from director and producer of the morning show, DNA, Daniel Niato, is that it? Niama Ato, and wife to their daughter, is the name Ibriana Ato? Ibriana Ato, today is your birthday. Happy birthday from all of us to you. Happy birthday. Make sure that you grow in the wisdom of God, and always make your parents proud as well. We're looking out for you, and we're watching out for you and praying for you as well. Happy birthday to you, Brianna Ato. And this coming from our director and, of course, our producer and the wife, DNA and the wife. Well, let's share with you some news making headlines from around the world. Welcome to Wake Up Buzz. Let's start off with the very first story. Sam George demands 30% DStv price cut, sets July 21st deadline for multi-choice response. And on to a sad one, the Member of Parliament for Equitia, Ernest Yakumi, passes away. And engineers and planners EBIT sign $100 million deal with Black Volta Gold Project. Heavy security at Iyoko ahead of MPP protest over detention of ex-Buffer Stock CEO. Some other stories of Komfanoche Teaching Hospital, doctor dies over lack of laboratory for treating heart attack. Agrada's lawyers appeal 15-year jail sentence. Bawe tragedy, police arrest gunman behind Queen Mother's death. Let's do some international news now. Let's take you now to Kenya. At least 10 dead in ongoing protests, 29 injured nationwide. In Liberia, the president issues official apology to civil war victims. Away from Liberia, French Parliament votes to return sacred talking drums to Ivory Coast. And now to Museveni, who's intended to run again as Uganda's ruling party picks him for 2026 election. Let's now go to Nigeria as Nigerian banks resume Naira debit card use abroad after 3-year pause. Nigerian agency finds MultiChoice 766 million naira for data privacy breaches. Israel bombs Houthi targets in Yemen. Rebels respond with missile attack. And that's the last one and final one for Wake Up Buzz. This is where we get to share with you news making headlines. We have an opportunity to delve deeper into these matters as our guests join us as we delve into them, sharing their thoughts and perspectives. You want to stay with us?
In all of our lives, when your brilliance and your intelligence and skill is restricted and limited, and it is that day that you will realize the need of the supernatural and spirituality. This is the moment we must come together. Hear me. Enough is enough. It's time for something to give. It's time for something to bow. For the first time, we are bringing it to Ghana, the global prayer works coming from all over the nations of the world to lift up prayer. It's time for the powers of the dark kingdom to bow their knees when we gather, when we pray together. It gives us the upper hand. The world is in a state of emergency. The church is in a state of emergency. And all we do is to pray 1 or 2 times and think we've made it. No, it's a lifestyle. Praying in the morning, praying in the afternoon, praying in the evening, praying in the night, praying at midnight, and praying consistently. It is time to stop running business as usual. It will not work. The time that God has set aside for you and I, and all you got to do is to show up. This is a divine summons. It's a subpoena. You can't miss it.
Still on the old My DStv app? Time to make the switch. And yes, it's as easy as it sounds. Just download the new My DStv app and log in as you normally would. Everything you need is right there. Your account, your settings, your offers. It's a smoother way to pay, upgrade, reconnect, or clear errors. All in fewer steps. No hassle, just more control in less time. Download the new My DStv app, made to make it easy.
I wanted to make it a surprise.
Why?
I knew the dramatic appearance would excite everyone.
I've been looking for you for a very long time.
Why are you so intimidating?
But you just complain that I'm fat.
But you are fat.
Here is my son.
Give me what I want and I will set you free.
Stop! Jesus has set me free. Yes, Lord.
Crowd goes absolutely emphatic. He has done it.
Get ready for more on SuperSport, the only place to watch all the FIFA Club World Cup.
Praise God, it's good to be with you, and I'm Archbishop Nick, and today I feel very strongly impressed by the Spirit of God to share with you reasons for putting together some of these books and materials that I believe will impact your life, like understanding the prophetic. I believe that one of the reasons why the prophetic has come under a lot of attack and under a lot of confusion all across the nations of the world is because of lack of understanding. And one of the main things through my observation over the years and the decades in ministry is the misunderstanding between the office and the functions of Old Testament prophets and New Testament prophets. Now, under the Old Testament prophet, because the Holy Spirit hadn't then been given we were led and directed by prophets under the Old Testament dispensation. In the New Testament dispensation, primarily, we are led by the inner witness and by the Holy Spirit. The Bible says, for as many as are led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God. And so I put together this material to help you see and understand the difference between Old Testament prophets and New Testament prophet. With this understanding, you will have illumination, clarity, and it will remove every misunderstanding. Whenever you see misunderstanding, is lack of understanding. So understanding has the ability to dismiss misunderstanding. I want you to get hold of this book, Understanding the Prophetic. It will dismiss every misunderstanding, confusion, and doubt you have about the prophetic. The prophetic is real. I'm a product of the prophetic. Please get this book of Understanding the Prophetic. It will bless you. God bless you. Bible says, buy the truth and sell it not. God bless you.
Me pay so dear me sister me dad dear me chibia na me mshishimi akuna ida me many te o some me sakana na se me ida so te sika se dia so demo hwa juju so mo bag de ho dia me ba bi free so wa hwe bag na ma mo na me hwe wow se me nya kwanfo bia na na mo sole o
today that the power of God that is coming upon your life, no enemy will touch you and go free.
Experience the power. Take dominion.
Say the name of Jesus. I prophesy. Doors of favor.
Action Chapel's Dominion Hour. Now, live, this and every Thursday on Dominion TV.
And from today, you will be stronger than any enemy.
Let me see you wave your hands, say. How many grateful people do we have in the room? Can somebody give Jesus a shout? Yeah. Oh, Lord, I'm grateful for your grace.
Welcome. We're excited. Lovely tunes, and I'm sure you are enjoying yourself. Be part of the show. Get interactive. It's always an interactive show. Make sure that you drop your comment, your thoughts as always, and I will be glad to share with the world, right? Welcome to the news review segment, and we get to share our perspectives. The guests are in studios. It's a Tuesday, so you know who they are. By now you should know, right? Maybe one of these days I'll do some posts. No, I'll just conduct an assessment. Who is coming on Tuesday? You should know. Dr. Justice Apiakubi, development expert and a dean for Dominion Theological Seminary.
That's my
also, yes, Mahal, the GOAT, right? And also an architect by profession. He is Reverend Naya Bafoboni, and also pastor within Eagles Network International Ministries. Grateful. Thank you very much. We know you are not too good.
I'm happy to be here all the
time. God bless you. Bless you, and open doors for you. Thank you very much. Well, I hope you are fine.
I'm good. I'm good.
We saw snippets of you teaching at the Single Summit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I always I'm always excited when it comes to about sharing something on marriage and those kind of things. I really like it.
I see.
So I intentionally actually gave some statistics.
Okay.
That according to Joy Online, that one also I'm still struggling how far it's true. More than 553,000 divorce, 2021. It just don't make sense to me.
5,000 divorces?
No, 553,000.
500,000?
Yeah.
Like,
that's in fact, and I intentionally went to different sites.
And it was the same?
It was the same.
I see.
Then I broke it down to historical trends.
Okay.
Then came to a point where gender, who actually initiate, they are more the genders.
Right.
Then also came to a ratio that every 5 marriage, 1 break. So my analogy is this: if you are going to take an airplane, and every 5 airplane that you take, 1 will crash, what would be your preparation before going?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so
that's a very good question.
And it was because of the topic they gave me to talk about what to do while waiting.
Oh, right.
So,
I see. This is on a light note. Was Pastor Buddy there?
I was calling him out, of course, you know.
He was there, right?
Yeah.
God,
he said, Thursday, you are going to talk about you.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Finally, the man has seen the light. By quarter by the end of August, there must be a bride close to Pastor Buddy.
Oh, I always thought he was married. No, he's not.
Reverend is not married.
Oh, really?
Well, how would he be married? With this the way he can cook, the way he's intelligent, he's feeling himself. We are praying for him, Reverend. By August, he should get a bride. Then by December, by August, you should get a lady.
This will be a fast track.
Then by December, we can marry him off so that we are at peace. But I don't know of you. I mean, the statistics, marriage as a topic, is it something that excites you?
I'm a married man. So but I think we should also congratulate him on his marriage anniversary.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Marriage anniversary. Oh. I saw it trending online.
You do?
Because I saw his official name, Mahal.
Man. I was
the lover. So I was forced to read some Filipino statement, something. So my man, Mahal.
You mentioned that when you sat down.
It means that it's a super lover. So some adjective was attached to them. This must mean that.
Yeah.
And the wife was full of praise. You know, when you have been with somebody for years, and there is nothing to hide. Neither are you trying to impress because you are trying to win the person over. Really, all the facades are down, and you can still use complimentary language from the depths of your heart. It tells you that even if it's not perfect, you are doing something right. And by the grace of God, it can work. For me, I think there are 2 things I've wished for everyone. Number 1 is everybody will travel. Number 2, that everybody will marry. You see, when you travel, you will see that our leaders are wicked. So that is what you see when you
travel to where?
When you travel
Any part of the
outside
world.
to the developed nations of the world,
that's context.
And also even on the undeveloped, you just come and accept that our leaders are wicked. Okay. When you travel in Africa, you see that people are more wicked than your government. Then when you go to Europe, you realize that they are less wicked. Things can be done to be more effective for life to be better.
Right.
So travel is necessary. The other one is marriage. Marriage because it exposes our foundations of discipleship. You know, because what we don't understand is marriage is one of the practical spaces where discipleship is tested. You can beat your chest of being the greatest Christian ever.
That's right.
But until you have entered into marriage, I can tell you that you have not started your Christian journey yet. Exactly. You see, because there is something about marriage. It will test you.
That's right.
Your fruit of the spirit, it will be tested. Yeah, the juice of every fruit is squeezed.
Yeah.
Marriage is the juicer.
That's right.
Rev likes juicing his fruit. Marriage is that juicer. You say you are a patient man.
Yes.
If you pass with your wife, your children will give you another test.
I like that.
And one of the things that is
and family members
painful,
as well.
One of the they come and go. I'm talking about the living temptations. You see, the most painful thing is when you don't like something about your spouse, and you realize you're giving birth to a younger, fresher version of it. That is not going to leave anytime soon,
forever.
Can you imagine you have someone like me who leaves their shoes and things everywhere?
That's right.
And you have an Arabana like me who doesn't know where her towel is. Yesterday she was fighting about her pencil case, which she has used. And she is holding her sister strongly. Where is my pencil case? Just because she asked for something from the pencil case. And I said, yeah, you are more organized. Find it. Within 2 minutes, the pencil case was found. The frown vanished. Said, Daddy, it was her, you know. And I'm just seeing myself. You try to wake her up in the morning, and she's waking up in about 5 stages.
That's
Daddy,
right.
I'm awake. Daddy, I'm waking up. Oh, Daddy, I've woken up. That if I'm brushing my teeth, each of them, if you leave and come, you see a deeper level of trance that preceded the first.
I like this.
You are wondering, hey, how my wife has been dealing with me for 19 years.
And it's not going to deal with this forever.
Dangerous element.
I know.
So marriage is a test of your financial capabilities, how you handle pressure, your people handling skills, agape, you know how to love unconditionally. When I married, especially when I started to have children, I really understood the father's love. I don't know how deep my children can offend me for me to say I've taken my name off you or I've disowned. In fact, it's just a mental disown. You can only disown somebody mentally in your head. But you know your blood is running through them. Sometimes, even at home, when your kids hurt in school, you can get a prompting in your spirit. You can no. Something is wrong. Why am I so downcast? And before you know, a call comes through, Charlie, your child is running temperature.
That's it.
There's an extension of you, you see, and you understand the salvation message better because God breathed into us. We are an extension of Himself. To be cut away from Him eternally, you can imagine the pain and the wrench that it brings to the Father's heart.
That's right.
So it's a journey that will really let you understand your faith. And no wonder it's the most attacked institution on the face of the earth.
Exactly.
Like Doc said, before you enter it, you're under attack. As you are trying to enter, you are under attack. When you are in it, you're under attack. When you are trying to divorce, you're under attack. After you have divorced, you are also under attack.
Wow.
You don't have peace in the area of marital RIPs or your tombstone.
Right.
I tell you.
I see. Anyways, we are praying for all the singles, Kelvin, Nancy, Pastor Buddy, everyone.
They should just locate themselves and just take one home.
Yes. They should take, it sounds like Buffalo.
Look, Koku, the reality is that fear is a major factor in all of us, our lives.
Right.
You see, and one of the things I've seen of all successful entrepreneurs and pioneers of things like our own Archbishop is that they ask themselves, what if it works? They never ask, what if it doesn't? You see, they ask that one quietly, wrestle with it, get it to the back burner, and they are seeing that, look at the various possibilities. And that sometimes that is what makes us not, we are just looking at the Red Sea. What if this thing closes in the middle? What if Charlie, but the other option is not good. What if the Egyptians close in on you, butcher you, kill you. So at least die, let it be written that you died trying to get to the other side. But not that fear gripped you so much that your opponent came for you and trounced on you. And that is what marriage has for you. There are so many joys waiting. Marriage is like accident statistics, like what Doc just said. The 523,000 can scare you so much. But the statistics not telling you the 10 million that are there that are not divorcing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like accident. So many accidents have happened this year. We've all sat in cars this morning. In the last 10 years, how many times have you even hit somebody's bumper or even scratch your own gate? But the fear of, oh Lord, I pray for Jenny mercies. I bind every accident. I bind every blood-sucking spirit. You see, so we become aspects of fear instead of masters of faith that would be called to be.
Well, I love this. I love these conversations. I love them.
One day the two of us should have something on marriage.
I love them.
I want to hear him because he's very loaded.
Yes. And with these statistics and the way he presents these things, it's methodical.
Very.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that
it's a thoroughbred academic.
That's how my brain works.
Anyways, let's get into it, shall we? Let's start off with some news coming in between the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations. The Minister, MP Sam Nate George, has called on MultiChoice Ghana to implement a 30% reduction on DStv subscription prices, citing the significant appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi and growing public dissatisfaction with current rates. Well, he met with a team from DStv, led by the Group Executive for Regulatory and Corporate Affairs. And also, the minister indicated that the government's mandate is to respond to the needs of Ghanaians who have expressed frustration over high DStv prices and outdated content offerings. And the minister noted that despite a 30% improvement in the city's value over the past 5 months, DStv prices have not reflected this positive economic shift. He's therefore calling or soliciting for a 30% price reduction to match the city's appreciation and to pass on economic benefits to consumers. He stressed that while MultiChoice has introduced promotional packages, subscribers prefer a direct price cut over temporary offers.
Exactly. That's my man. I'm very grateful because, you know, Koku, I struggle with the DStv and their monopoly in this country.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there were start times, there were others.
Yeah. Now some of these things are coming up, but they are still not as strong as DStv. You know, I used to say that, like, for example, when I was outside, I use a channel that even much bigger than DStv, and you will not believe it, but I wasn't paying more than 60-70 Ghana cedis a month because the competition is so. I mean, you are talking about Sky Cable, Man TV. Everybody is bringing something up. You see, but here they now, thankfully, the Sky whatever is now that now I'm using some small this thing. I don't even know the name. But in the house, I use DStv. But in my office, something very small. So it's powerful. I have thousands of channels.
Ghanaian?
Yeah. I watch Philippines. I have Philippine channels, 96 of them. The World Cup, I mean, even football only. If I'm not mistaken, it should be around maybe about 40, 50 different distance from UK, from Arab, and all of them.
And how much do you pay for that?
I think everything I paid around 900 something Ghana cedis.
900 cedis?
Yeah, but
a month?
No, a month. For life. So long as I have internet. I have it. Let's pass by.
I saw the last time I came. You were watching the Filipino worship.
Yes.
And you were singing along and explaining something.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Old man.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a fault of...
Honestly, I thought you were playing a pen drive.
No.
It's not. That's what you're saying. Because I saw, you on the display, some of the Netflix icons of Nigerian movie channels were showing now. So I just thought it's something else.
I have even Netflix on the whole phone.
Your laptop that you've airdropped or posted on the screen.
Wait,
Movies, series.
No, but
I
wait a
don't
minute.
even know.
Why are we blaming multi-choice for monopoly? It's not their fault that there is. It's a free market. Anybody could play in.
Yeah, you know,
If they
like
have the
for
resources.
example,
Go ahead.
rice and sugar. There are some serious, or maybe some other than my not because I knew rice and sugar because we wanted to get into that business. There are some serious cartels, okay, that want to have a way. I think it's everywhere, not just only in Ghana. Will try to monopolize the market to their advantage, and that one help their profit, but it doesn't help the people. You see, so DStv from day one since 2010, I hate back to my country. I've been using DStv because I know I like football. Though I swallowed one of them, but I like playing. I like watching.
I see.
I like
Right.
watching. So
I see.
it's I'm
So
very,
you are for the
very
30%.
much, very much,
Right.
very much that they should bring it down. They should bring it because do you know that even there are foreign DStv in this market that are cheaper than the Ghana DStv.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, so
I think that one there's some illegality behind it.
and they
know.
Yeah, of course, they will know. They know, and they know that if they will really bring the prices down, people will go back to where they were. You see,
Has it not got to do with the market and the numbers? I'm selling Wache. The number of people who patronize it would affect what I bring, not only the quality and of course the quantity, but if it's just for a limited number of people, I'll serve them and serve them at a certain quality as well. I hear in Nigeria where the numbers are huge, it's less. The numbers are less, and that's why they're enjoying.
It's Koko. It's both a yes and no situation in the sense that you see, and I'll liken this to my wife's industry. My wife is in the ticketing and airline business. She runs her own travel and tour, and she told me some years back when she was working with one of these multinationals that the aviation ministry and department told the Americans clearly that, number one, your CEO must be Nigerian and must be resident here. We don't want him to, even though the company had come to Ghana first, we don't want him to be in Ghana and have oversight over Nigeria. Number two, a certain percentage of employees, I think up to 70%, must be Nigerian people, and they must hold up to management, to mid-management position, to handling cargo, etc. on the ground. And then they said that we want the aeroplanes that fly the European routes. We don't want your coffins that you are retiring. And the Americans dared them. I think the first few flights, they sent it back. You see, so they leverage not just the numbers, but strength. And I think sometimes Ghanaians mistake our hospitality and niceness for being unnecessarily accommodating. And so much as sometimes I do not like the very strong and forward way that Honorable Sam George does things, it's high time that we started having this sort of approach, because for crying out loud, they are taking money from our economy. It's not a Father Christmas, it's not a charity, whatever. So somebody should be able to tell our investors, whether local or international, that listen, when there are gains, my people must enjoy. The same way that when we don't, quote unquote, govern well and the economy tanks, you don't forgive us, you make sure you pass on the cost. So pass on the gain. For me, it's a very simple logic. I don't know, maybe 30% may be a little too much to ask for from the onset. But I believe that there should be a very clear, staggered plan. You understand that in the next quarter, we are going by this. By this quarter, we are going by this, we are going by that, we are going by that, and then have a very clear plan that it should be like how we do our petroleum thing. There must be an automatic formula that is known to us, known to multi-choice, known to the minister. You get my point? So that we all can tell DStv prices are going to be adjusted soon because of A, B, C, D factors that goes into their calculation. We may not even know the how much, but it should be that transparent, because we can't look. Kokude is not the first time. There have been times where we have made serious gains on the currency front. all we kept getting was upward adjustment, upward adjustment, upward adjustment. About 2 weeks or so ago, I had to put up a small write-up questioning why electricity tariffs had to go up by that 2.whatever%, because you are telling us all these indicators are in our favor. Why not? And I was of the opinion that this was a very ingenious way of dealing with our 1 cedi thing, that levy, which we have tried to hold back. And the explanation justified my thinking. And I got a few experts reaching me inbox on the side explaining that these are some of the things, because things have to be cushioned. My only dislike was that I believe if the government doesn't strengthen its communication machinery, they'll fall foul of the same thing the NPP fell foul, because Ghanaians are people, when you keep engaging, they keep responding positively. When you don't engage and then they make noise and you are silent, they take it as you disrespect us. You will hear from us at the poll, we won't talk anymore. And we don't want that cycle to be repeating itself. So the DStv, look, Doc, like Doc is saying, I have not used DStv in months. Because I also have that similar, it's a small yellow device like that, it has some digital display and all that. People are coming into the market with all sorts of things, whether on the black market, on the white market, on the green market, whatever market.
It's a market.
And trying to, find ways. And sometimes it's an installation that doesn't even need any dish. Sometimes just some simple antenna here. You just face it. When it's Hamatan time, they'll come and realign it for you. When it is whatever time, and then you just Intelsat something appears. And because we are squeezing people by the neck. And guess what? Already President Mahama, as part of austerity measures, has asked that ministries and state-owned organizations should wean off DStv. So already, and believe
not
me,
necessarily DStv satellite, anything.
No. What I'm saying is that 99% of the subscription is them, really. DStv, You get my point.
I just didn't want us to mention
the fact of the matter is that whether we multi-choice is in the thing, you see, and there should be good reason. Can you imagine if all that they were paying a month was, let's say, some 100 cedis or 120 cedis. Even when the president does his calculation, you see that this thing cry, it not be anything, just leave it. Because it will not even amount to any fuel coupon. Or even the gate man, if he's wild, can pay the DStv bill of the ministry, if you get my point. So these are the things. I think that Ghana here, apart from sometimes bad leadership, we squeeze each other too much. Too much.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see how it goes.
No, they must respond, though. It's not about they must respond quick.
It's also...
and I believe that...
What's the worst that can happen? It's a free market.
No, what I'm saying is that I believe that if the talks were not conclusive, he's been meeting them for some months now. If the talks were not conclusive, the minister wouldn't have made the statement. Because he's making that statement on the back of goodwill, that we've reached this conclusion and a reduction is going to happen. So this is being thrown out there so that all of us will prepare ourselves for. Because that is really the only strategic way. You get my point? Because if the minister doesn't intervene and let it go this route, it would now send a signal that they were exploiting us. But when it now looks like the minister has asked, so we are ceding, at least it doesn't come out like corporate greed.
Then again is the issue of whether or not you could, Doc, sense the influence of the political class in markets such as this, because
who should be?
Who shouldn't be?
No, who should be?
If you were running, I continually would have to use this word, a free market, why would you wait for a political class, the political class, to walk to your office to tell you of what probably you already know?
Yeah, because by nature, every businessman is greedy, by nature. So there must be a certain regulation.
Regulation, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm clear. Anyways, Nashida has...
You're not clear, you are Koku. Claire is a lady's name.
I'm Koku.
Doc is back again.
Flora Nashida says, good morning, laughs at what we were talking about earlier, says, watching from Kwabenya, Album Junction. Good morning, everyone in the studio. Love you all. My name is Nashida. All right. So, Nashida, thank you. Thank you very much for watching. I encourage others to watch as well. Let's go to a very sad one. And I've seen a lot of very insensitive comments as well. Political class zone at it again. The Member of Parliament for Akwatia, the NSC Alkumi, representing the New Patriotic Party, has passed away. Sources close to the family and party disclosed that Mr. Kumi died on Monday, July 7th, 2025, through the cause of death though the cause of death has not been officially disclosed. As of now, Parliament and MPP leadership are yet to issue a formal statement or announce funeral arrangement. Mr. Kumi was serving his first term in Parliament, having won the Akotia seat in the December 2024 general elections, one of the most fiercely contested and politically sensitive races of that cycle. Well, this was not without controversy. He spent some days in court and all of that, and well, a lot of it happened before his death.
Yeah. I was really surprised. I cannot remember where was I yesterday. I was somewhere and I saw it on my phone. I'm like, what, really? I was really surprised because we knew that he wasn't sick. We knew that he wasn't sick. And I listened to Asempa, whatever this thing is, Obi a lot. And so he has been featuring, so I've been hearing. And he's one of those politicians who's not yelling and screaming and insulting. So I kind of like the way he talks, honestly. And I see how he gelled with some of the NDC guys, especially the something a J.
Okay.
In fact, I heard that even that guy, immediately the issue happened at Lashibi, he even rushed in there. The same with Sami Jemfi and them. He's a guy that he cut across. And not like those that when you see them on the other side, people are raising red flag and stuff. So I thought that he's part of the new generation of politicians in Ghana, that it doesn't matter where you are, they are still friends and they still talk. You see them talking against each other and stuff, but you know that they are good friends. I heard that he went to a funeral or something. He went to a certain program, and when he came back, the driver went home to sleep. He also went and said in his chest, they rushed him to Leicester Hospital, and this thing happened. And that actually made me think, for us as human beings, I think I shared this story here before when I traveled to Philippines, and a certain man who's supposed to meet me gave me his car, arrange a place for us to go and eat because I was traveling. And when I came back, when I arrived there, I just got a text message that he had passed on. I was like, what? How is that possible? This was the man who drove me, we were talking about how he came to Ghana and he enjoyed Ghana, blah, blah, blah. He complains more about Ghana police anyway, but that's the only one. But he enjoyed very much, and he was saying that, okay, so Pastor, when you come back, I'll be picking you from the airport, and we are going to Tagatai, I'll arrange this. And on my schedule, you can see all of them were there, only to find out that he was there. So I preached in his funeral. I was wearing shorts, knicker, with only chalewate.
Why?
Because I didn't prepare for that one. Remember, he was my church member here. And when I went there, and in their culture, it was like I was a God sent. I was like angel, even though I don't believe that I'm angel. Because if I'm angel, I'm black angel. And black angel is very dangerous. So I decided not. So just went there, and when they finished everything, and they said they are going to cremate the body. They put the body there and it was burning. And the stench was exactly as when you are burning or you've killed a goat or a cow, and when they use this, exactly the same. The only difference is that the human one was much stronger. That day, I concluded, so us and animals, we are not different. The only difference is very, very small. And what are we getting? What? Yeah. I mean, it's just the guy was there, and all of a sudden, and yesterday, I called one of my best friends. I've not talked with him for about two weeks now. And I say, hey, I have to remind him I'm traveling on before I forget because of my business. When I called him, he said when he saw the call, he thought that I just came back to Ghana. I said, no, bro, I'm now going. He said, I've been sick for 2 weeks. I said, how's that possible? He was just there driving his very expensive, luxurious car, and realized that he wasn't feeling well. He called, they rushed him to the hospital. He realized that his BP has jumped to 250 over something. And yesterday he was going through details how the whole thing was. I was like, so I will be there now. Then I hear that Fred is gone. It will make sense to me. So I came to realize, human beings are. It's just by the grace of God that carries us everywhere.
That particular phrase, it doesn't make sense. I've heard from a lot of people, especially when you are hard hit. I just want us to come to that particular point. Look, from what a lot of people have said, you can tell that the court cases and all of these issues took a toll on him. Is it okay for you to realize that there are some spaces that you don't belong to? I have come to that realization that I'm too passionate to do politics, because this, when I come and I see people, I'm crying for them. So anything you do against the people, I'm coming for you. So I just concluded that I might not have the heart for it. Is it okay to find, because a lot of people have gone through it. Jechekwe Singh went through it, the same thing, but he's alive. I'm not sure it took a toll. Even if it did, he's alive.
Take a toll.
As much as I agree that it's by the grace, is it okay to understand that there are some spaces that this place is not for you?
Well, I mean, that's a possibility and one way of looking at it.
Right.
But let me start by extending my deepest condolences first to his wife and children and the political party MPP as a fraternity, and then also the entire parliament and the nation at large for this painful loss. Though that's an interesting angle to look at it from, I am tempted to think that is not really the reason. It's very easy for us to say that court took a toll, but he was not going to court every day. And it was not like there was a threat of removing him from his seat. It's just issues surrounding his being in parliament, and these issues needed to be ironed out, which there are 1,000,001 people having such issues in the court. Some is their land that, as I'm sitting here, somebody's litigating with me over my church's land.
Wow.
Yeah. So court this. But do I look it? No. What I'm saying is that much as we may have different thresholds for dealing with pressures and all these type of things, marital related issues, finances, of course at the point you can say that none of us is even suited for life. Like Dr. Tabo once says, life is not fair, life is mean, life is hard, it will knock you. That is the fallen world we live in, and we need to be able to pick ourselves up from time to time. I want to look at it from the Ghanaian cultural mindset when it comes to our health, you understand? We are very dismissive, very, very, very dismissive. I mean, you take, for instance, this new search that on Legon campus about COVID, you get it? My children are in nose mask this morning to school. It's not because I don't have faith. Long before COVID and after COVID and currently, my wife instituted, once you come from outside, you are going to keep your hand under running water with some good liquid soap for at least some 30 seconds before you touch or do anything in the house. So it's deliberate. By second week of the new year, my lab guy was in my house, is taking my blood work for my wife and myself, is running LDL, HDL, checking cholesterol levels, checking kidney function, liver function. It's an annual thing. But I declared that I would live to a great old age. I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. But it's not just by declaration. I've seen many videos of the Archbishop himself punching at some bags here and there, doing some steps here and there. And there's somebody who is two years shy of 70. You understand? So you may see that he may have a stocky figure. You may think you are lean like a pole, but you are a dead kebab stick. And he is a very much alive person. So we need to be very intentional about our diet, about our rest. Look, this man was supposedly in parliament even on Saturday or something. They are working around the clock as if they employed God. Look, God even in his wisdom rested on the seventh day. Rest is part of work. That's what we don't know. That's why in Japan they have couches that can convert, office chairs that can convert to resting, whatever. And your boss will come around and make sure that you are taking a nap. And it's not about sleeping. Just wear that thing, cover your eye, blank out and let your system recharge. So we've got to learn this. We've got to learn it. One man told me years ago that Ghanaians know how to work hard, but they don't know how to take a vacation. So as a Ghanaian, when was the last time you took? And when we say vacation, we're not even talking about Canada.
Maldives.
No. Look, just take a drive up Ebri Mountain. Go to the Ebri Gardens. Go and sit there. Count the leaves in the garden. Just count the leaves. Go there Friday morning. Count it till it's 5 p.m. And come back home and allow your mind to leave all these things. Learn to sit by the beach, sit on a high rock somewhere, listen to the splashing sounds, and allow yourself to catch a glimpse of nature, hear the sounds of the seagulls, and connect and allow yourself to rejuvenate. That's why God made these things for us. And then eat properly. Yesterday, I hadn't had food. I've not been feeling too. I hadn't had food until around late 3 o'clock. I realized that no, what I have, I should be able to go to bed on it even at the 3 o'clock. But I was feeling hungry. Then I was telling myself, it's your mind telling, your mind is programmed that it must be 3 times, morning, afternoon, evening. So even though you've done late afternoon, it's telling you that it's left with evening. Drink water and go and sleep. You see, that drinking water to go and sleep may help you to live just another 2 years longer. So let's be intentional. Death will come when it will come. But we must not play into the hand of death. In the same way when you drive, understand. My boss told me and said, Nana, it's okay if you don't love yourself and you want to die. But understand that you represent your wife, you represent your children, you represent your siblings and your cousins and your mother and your father who are still alive. And your death will have a consequence on them. So when you are behind the steer, remember that it's not you and that stupid person you are racing. It is you plus all these guys behind you. Then I just take my time. This morning, someone was racing me. I just laughed. I said, this guy hasn't gotten the revelation yet.
Right.
And I look at the back and realize he's taking school children to school. I said, look at that. And it's a slippery road. It's wet. It's raining. You are not having anti-slip ties. Maybe anti-slip function is not even in your car because it's a W registration. As I was saying, that this is somebody he's waiting to say the witches and wizards have killed him. Your grandmother who lived a good life and is now 108 cannot be a witch now. Just do what she did and also be at least 96 before you exit. So please, much as this is painful and we are crying, high blood pressure is an issue in our 40s. This last 2 weeks Sunday, I had a health guy in our church come to talk to us about prostate health. Because quite a number of my members now are married. They are in their 33s, 34, inching towards 40. We must be intentional about these things. You have a prostate. You've got to pay attention to, you've got to check it. It may be benign, but it can move into being malignant and all these type of things. So we must be, these things I'm talking about. It's not like I'm a doctor, but Charlie, man for live long small. Because God will bless us. And we must be in good health when the blessing comes. So our honorable MPs, we beg you, it's not the first time it's happened. You know that with our MPs.
It's not.
Take the rest when you need it. When you are tired and you are driving, let the driver drive or else find somewhere and sleep. Eat well, we beg you. We take good care of yourselves. Our ministers, young ones, please, we don't want to lose nobody. It's very painful because though there's no official communication, what I have heard on other sisters say, there was a sudden cardiac arrest. I've lost my classmates to these things. Over the weekend, one of my mates was buried. 48. Weeks before that, another one, I don't know what I told you, but he was on his way to his hometown in Volta region. Oh, I'm feeling a tightness in my chest. Was rushed to a hospital. By the time they got to 37, he's conked out. Look at this young doctor who has also passed out. Arteries blocked. You see now.
Coming to that.
And he is also in his 40s.
Yes, it should
think about it.
So let's just do that. The Comfort Teaching Hospital is seeking the urgent prioritization and construction of catheterization laboratory after losing one of its critical medical staff who suffered a heart attack. Dr. Edu Ofori, an emergency physician at the hospital, is reported to have died over the weekend when his colleague doctors attempted saving him, but lacked the crucial laboratory to treat an obstruction in one of the blood vessels, pumping blood to his heart. The absence of the laboratory at Ghana's second largest teaching hospital has sparked grave concerns over the poor medical infrastructure in public health facilities in the country, as Ghana boasts of only one of such facilities located in Accra.
And if Comfort is having this problem,
and the other places.
How much more the other places?
Villages that have only cheap compounds.
So
not clinics, cheap compounds.
So like what Rev was saying, really taking care of our health and seeing to it that, one of the things that Ghana, we are not doing well is stop eating what we used to eat for the white people to laugh at us, and now they are eating what we used to eat, and we are eating what they used to eat. Talking about the contemporaries and the this thing. Like for example, I used to eat the pea, the small one. We call it a bedroom or something.
Turkey berry.
Yeah, turkey berry. You know that one, the small ones. Yeah, the small one. Yeah, green, very strong in iron.
Anytime I'm low on iron, I just blend. I just have a glass.
You don't have to take.
By 3 days, eye clear. Everything simple.
And I remember in Philippines they call it makahilo.
I like those words.
Makahilo in Philippine or Tagalog means something that makes you dizzy.
Ooh. Okay.
It's because they didn't know how to do it. And we used to do that all the time. Our palm soups and all those things are very, very, very important. But now we want to feel like we day form. So we want to go and eat burgers. We want to go and eat French fries or chips, as they call it here, and all that. Which the whites who brought some of these things are changing to what we eat. I mean, I heard the kenke, the infante kenke, and the thing that the green thing that they put on it. If you boil it and goes, I heard it's very, very healthy.
Yeah, the combination with the dough.
Yeah,
it's another.
And up to now, it's kind of my struggle because my brain had been wired that thing, Fancy for the band or in a line bang. Yeah, I don't know what I said. Fancy for the band or a line bang. Maybe they are
Okay. But I mean, we all eat that.
I like etso.
I think
etso is what?
Etso, etso is banku, but
it's a fancy type
it's a
of banku.
fancy
It has
type
its own
of
formula.
But I don't like the yamransa kind of the other one that they
the wrap.
Yeah,
because they are cheating. I hear the thing. No. The wrap is a lot when.
But the wrap that is a lot actually is good for that kenke anyway.
But if you increase the size.
The problem now I have is how they are putting it in a rubber bag and transparent.
Right.
And I heard they use some chemicals to boil it.
See, that's the point.
So it's poisoning.
So as much as you want to eat homegrown foods and things that are indigenous, these guys are additives that they are adding to.
Now, do you know that one of the most expensive oil in the US is palm oil?
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Yes, and they came to tell us it's saturated fat.
Yeah.
They eat it is killing us, so they can give us the lab prepared ones. And when Professor Bidua Kusa at that time was talking about it, he was just blacklisted and kicked out of the system completely, silenced totally, and all that. So these are sad things.
So but now when we if you eat the palm oil in Ghana now, I heard that now they are using certain chemical to cook it. I heard that even the FDA or whatever even went there to confiscate some of them. So it's like
wickedness.
Well, yeah, I mean, so we should eat. One thing that I've learned about Asians or so forth. Most medicines actually, that very good medicine comes from India, Thailand, and all Asian countries. And I should say that they don't take medicine. Asians eat, for example, moringa. If I prepare moringa soup for you, like you are not feeling well, it will not change the taste of anything. And after taking it in the evening, you sleep very soundly, you wake up and you are fine. The same with dandelion. If you make dandelion salad, it will not change the taste of anything. It's just raw, it's just nice. And if you eat, it's a strong antioxidant. Some of them that are this like the very green one, people put it on their nyenya. They have a fruit.
Yeah.
Very long one.
It looks like
bitter melon.
Looks like cucumber.
Bitter melon, bitter melon. Bitter melon is one of my good breakfast. It's extremely, sometimes the Filipino language is my head more. Extremely bitter. Okay, extremely bitter. But there's a way of cooking it for breakfast with egg, that it doesn't, that bitterness actually go out. And that is very, very good for health. And so when it comes to Asians and African, we're supposed to live way, way longer. Unfortunately, the Asians constantly maintain their culture. If you taste Japanese food is almost, it doesn't really taste great. Compare, Japan, Korea, and China. These are the Asian, or even the whole world, who live longest. Japan first, Korea second, Chinese. Japanese food is not really that tasty compared to the others because they don't like commercializing it. That's why they live that long. Koreans, one way or the other, is similar, but theirs a little bit tastier. Okay, then Chinese food is the most. But if you go to, I don't know, let me talk about what I know. In Hong Kong, also, if you go to a restaurant in Hong Kong, you need water, you have to pay. You need tea, it's for free. So I'm like, are they okay? The tea is water plus something that you bought. That one is free. But the water alone, I have to pay. It didn't make sense. Later on, as I stayed there for long, I came to realize that it's the government intentional policy so that you live long. Because Chinese food are a little bit oily. So that tea thing, flush it out, all this stuff. If you take a bus or even a taxi, the taxi will not arrive in front of your house. No, it's just not going to happen. You take a what do you call this one? Their tram, this thing. They have made it in such a way that
you have to take a walk.
Yes, the government have designed it in such a way like trotro. You stop here. No, it won't happen. But if you sit in trotro and it doesn't stop where you really, really want, you see the driver is in, especially the mate, is going to be in trouble. You see, and so we have to be intentional about some of all these things.
The other side of this particular thing has to do with the consciousness of opinion leaders and all these other, and of course I'm talking decentralization now, to understand that most of the events that you need to have in your I'm not saying that they don't do it, because I've seen the Otumfo do events and raise funds to fix some of these facilities. But I'm saying that if all of us can be that conscious, I think without relying on the government, we can also, increase some of these things, buy some of these equipment to help, because it's a sad one that we've lost such a person. I'm not saying his life is better than any other, but if he himself, who's supposed to save our lives, help save our lives, is gone, it's sad. So there must be more things done for our health facilities.
Yeah, Koku, we need a very multifaceted approach in solving some of these things, because like you rightly said, government alone can't do this. I've been following a debate on my Achimota School platform, my year group platform. It will interest you to know that some of these laboratories actually, there are some that are owned by private people in the Ashanti region and in Accra here as well. So it was not a case of they needed to come to Accra, because the person speaking was speaking on authority. If they are wrong, then I may have been misled. So that's it. And it's not as expensive. Interestingly, it takes about 500,000 USD to set up one. Maximum is $1 million USD. So it's well within our reach and our grasp to be able to do that as a nation. So I think that sometimes one of the ways that, and I think we had a debate on this some time ago when it came to the Tamale Teaching Hospital of course, CEO, that sometimes our CEOs also need to be very ingenious and find ways out of some of these challenges. KNUST, when I was there, I remember there was still a case there, but I think it's improved. There was an issue of student population vis-a-vis hostels, and the agreement was to be able to partner people, come and build a hostel, operate for a certain number of years. Over time, it returns to KNUST as it comes under management of the university, and you can also make your money. And people have proposed and suggested that government should start looking at some of these options where some of the private sector guys can come in there and build these facilities on the teaching hospital and some of these district and regional hospital campuses where the hospitals are housed, and then they'll be allowed to run this service like the DVLA has outsourced this work to private guys, and they are checking vehicles and issuing the licenses and the roadworthy certificates to vehicles on behalf of the DVLA. So if some of this outsourcing can be done by the hospital through some partnership, then these guys run these facilities, so MRIs will never break down because they are being run as private entities, but for and on behalf of the hospital. Then whatever accounts come in, because it's being managed at that level, they can pay the entity, and then the hospital also has some margin, and then life moves on. Then maybe where government can come in is to do something like what it is doing for this education thing, to be subventing those who are truly, in need and can't afford some of these things, and all that. Other than that, we are going to just have this cycle. And one of the things that sparked the debate on my school page was that we are just a talking and a complaining people.
That's true.
So we talk like this when something terrible has happened. But the follow-up activity to ensure that things are done. And many times, because we just expect government to lead the way, government just rolls out plans to silence us. So let's roll out 111 hospitals. How many were completed? 1. What efforts are being made to complete the remaining 110? We are not too sure, and stuff like that. So somebody said his funeral will be done. There'll be a state burial. Substantive minister will come and declare a launching of catheter, whatever, laboratories, operation, 16 labs, 1 per region.
That's all.
And then that's where it ends. But we don't need just that, The hospitals can take the lead, and some of the regional ministers can even take the lead, because if you decide to do this, can you imagine the kind of personnel you can attract, for instance, to your regional hospitals now because of certain facilities that I'm going to sit down to speak with Tamale Teaching Hospital as a regional minister. What can we do? Do we know some private guys that can come and do this? Immediately we are going to have clients crossing in from Burkina Faso. Some are coming from Northern Ivory Coast. Some are coming from Mali, Niger to patronize. So, people were coming from West Africa sub-region to Cardiothoracic Center because of what Dr. Frimpong Boateng did. So we should be a little more innovative in thinking about it, because the case is bad. Whichever way you look at it, all you see is just despair and despondency. And we can either watch and sink further, or we can be proactive and then save. Because we would have always thought this would be a patient. I think it's getting this attention because it's an aspect we need, and we spend hard currency training out there. And for me, if we don't act quickly, the brain drain is going to get worse. Because if I would make a sacrifice to come back home to help, because I believe my country has spent on me, but I can't be saved.
Only for me to go.
I would rather be in some ghetto hospital in downtown New Jersey.
I know. The other aspect for me is to, just as Doc said, the CEOs, the administrators of these hospitals and these facilities, not only hospitals, even schools and others, who take advantage of the same system that they are put in to lead. I think it's sad that most of these procurement things, you have hands in it. We know of things that happen, hospitals, schools, and all of that. It is sad that you call yourself a Christian. It's sad that you call yourself a Muslim, practicing ones, and you can do this to your people. We might not be watching. A lot of people might go down because of that singular act, but I can assure you that there's someone watching, and your days will surely be numbered, and we'll all get there one day. Oh yeah, of course, we'll all get there.
The draconian.
Oh yes.
Draconian.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Join Mama Pat.
Yes. Let's get on to, either we want to discuss, so we have some few minutes to go. Either we want to discuss Agrada's issues or the Gbawe tragedy. What do we do?
Something happening in Gbawe?
Yes, so the Ghana police has arrested a 21-year-old suspect, Gilbert Awuni, popularly known as Starboy, in connection with the recent fatal shooting at a naming ceremony in Bao Zero, a suburb of Accra. According to the police reports, when he was part of a group of gun-wielding individuals who attended the event. He allegedly fired his weapon at close range, leading to the instant death of a 33-year-old Queen Mother, Pearl Na Dodu, and causing severe injury to Priscilla Na Ayele, who was shot in the chest. The suspect who reportedly admitted to firing the weapon under the influence of alcohol, fled the scene and went into hiding at Sokori, located in the Ashanti region, where he was later arrested.
This will be our last topic.
Yes,
Then I would rather talk actually about the MPP going to the distance.
No what?
No, they went to Yoko.
Okay.
Because it's something that irritates me.
All right. So heavy security has been intensified at the premises of Ioko, that's Economic and Organized Crime Office in Accra, with police erecting barricades ahead of planned protests by members of the New Patriotic Party and Minority Caucus over the continued detention of Chief Executive Officer of National Food Buffer Stock Company, Abdul Wahab Hanan. I think that could give us context.
Yeah, so actually, I keep on saying this over and over again, that for me, if I'm in his shoe, I won't be happy.
Okay.
But we also have to understand that the nation have to move forward and be doing what this government is doing. So long as it's not political witch hunting, we should be doing these things. And even if it's political witch hunt, it will give you an idea that, hey, Charlie, because this is not the only one who was in government. Those who have been, quote unquote, politically harassed, they were not the only people. Foreta wasn't the only person. Why they? Or why them? Okay, and so it means that when Jesus said, Satan is coming and he has nothing in me. And so if I'm believing God for us to come to a point in this country where you are in a political space, you have a certain position. Hey, Charlie, I'm not going to do this because when the government comes, they will politically witch hunt me. Just let me even put it this way.
The interesting part is that those who were planning the protest noted that the man in question, Mr. Hanan's legal team, had previously advised against demonstration. But the reason why they are doing it is the growing frustration among their supporters. So I don't understand.
Yeah.
So the legal team of the man says, no, stay away from this demonstration. Don't do it.
Let me give a little context.
Right.
Okay.
You know, this legal team took this informed position first at the request of Mr. Wahab.
Okay.
And then secondly, also, like Doc is saying, so that we don't create a pattern that there's a blind loyalty to stop people from being held accountable.
Right.
You know, and then also the potential social unrest that it could also create. So he's looking at it from that angle and that perspective. Nonetheless, you can also understand the frustration of the MPP folks in the sense that, and I hope the president will listen and be able to call the Yoko to order in some of these things, because Yoko actually is one of the few institutions that has the power to impose a bail bond on you without necessarily going to court. And if you don't meet that bond, you are not going to leave. Often it's been argued that we don't know what Yoko knows, for which reason they set those very high bail amounts, because sometimes the crime involved is of such huge financial value that it advises, you know, but when it becomes one too many, it begins to look like a pattern where these bail bonds are being set seemingly unreasonably high, then it will begin to look like it's punitive, even when it is justified, you know. So, because I was told the wife was put on a 20 or 30 million bail, and then they were able to raise that, and then, you know, valuation was done, and she was excused to go because they have little children. Now, with his situation, my information was that he also had been able to get sureties. And then now Yoko varied the thing and said, go and bring a valuation report. And then we must vet that. And you know, those things don't take 2 days to do. You have to get a valuer who must first visit all these things, sit down at his desk, put pen to paper, do. Even at you want it express under pressure.
At whose cost, though?
Whose cost? You want the bill, you are paying. Yoko is not paying for nothing.
Nice one.
But you go to hospital, I say, go and do a lab for me to check whether you have gut infection. You're asking at those course. I'm the doctor. I'm not sick. So, and you are looking at nothing less than 72 hours, even to be able to get, a professional to sit down and do all. Because 50 million CDs, it's not 3-4 properties. You understand what I'm saying? So it's going to be a certain number of properties to really get a team to sit down, do the evaluation work and all that. It's going to take a bit of time. So I think that these are just some of the frustrations that people are facing. And I would like to add my voice to plead with the great and indefatigable Raymond Archer that in the dispensing of his duty, we should look at some of these things. Because, see, for me, I'm just not looking at the organization. I'm always looking at President Mahama. You see, President Mahama has been president before. And so there are some mistakes that will not be pardonable. And the danger will be that his party will suffer the brunt of it in 2028. Because I feel the trajectory he started on, if this legacy continues in 2028, it may not just be a walk in the park, but it is definitely going to be a second opportunity by 2032. And if that legacy is continued by whoever succeeds him, we may see a real breaking of the eight, because apart from everything, MPP seems to be in a very bad place. There's a lot of internal incoherence. Rekubrobe is speaking, Nyahonya Otakmaklo is speaking, Atta Kennedy is speaking.
Didn't listen to these voices anyway. That's just by the way. I will talk about that's just by the way.
What I'm saying, it doesn't even have to be listened to. It has to be the weight behind it. Yeah. See, when founders and people of a certain class starts to talk, it tells the level of disintegration, because they are often the voice of reason who would let the center hold. So when they look anarchistic in that manner, it tells you that all is not. We don't advise a king in public. So immediately you see somebody talking to a king, advising in public, it means that the wax has kicked, like we say in our local, the wax kick, I done it reinforced concrete or maybe steel stanchions. You get my point. So I really want all public officers to understand where President Mahama said.
What if the call for justice and the manner in which it's being done is the people's voice?
Let me interject quickly on that. You see, that's what I'm saying. The management of the thing and the management of expectations is very important. And we have history to guide us. Because we've had let the blood flow before, and it was the call of the people.
Right.
In the end, whose child was called daughter of a murderer in Parliament? The one who took the bull by the horn and said that, like yourself, very passionate, I'm going to do what is right.
That's right.
Today, he's the only one being singled out in history, as if he got up and went to the market and stopped people from Kalabule. He went to the market, and every good thing he did is being looked very funny. I go to Nigeria, and they see Rawlings as a prince. That is because of his intervention that Ghana has enjoyed such sustained stability without all these so many sporadic coup interventions. And they sometimes say they wish we could trade him so that they can have him small to come and just lead their country for them.
They can.
You understand? But he's gone now.
They can go to the grave.
So these are the things. That's why I'm saying that President Mahama cannot function like just anyone because of the benefit of hindsight.
Right.
I know Archbishop made some very profound statement that President Mahama is back with determination.
Yes.
That statement is very loaded. And if you are not careful, you read politics into it like he's throwing his weight behind him. But he's just talking about the fact that President Mahama's benefit of hindsight seems to be playing to his advantage. You remember how he lamented when he was giving his acceptance speech in his office when the election results were announced and he had won. And he spoke about how President Kufuor told him the loneliness of being in opposition.
That's right.
And he had seen it in 8 years and said, listen, nobody came to his house. His head is screwed on well now. So he's not here to do favors, but to make nobody. Right. And then it's not like what will life be after I leave office. He has seen that also already. So he knows what is waiting. So it's put him in good pole position. And I think that those working with him don't have that benefit.
Okay.
You get my point? Because even those who they were deputy ministers, they're not substantive ministers. So please, let's all tidy up nicely. So not toned down, but the way things are managed. You get what I'm saying? The way we should not let it look like there's a dying horse, then you also took it away. No, but you have to put small massaging cream as you are also applying the needed
because
pressure.
Someone like Franklin Kujo, and finally on this, Doc, where are the excavators? How far, and of course that was 3 hours ago on his X page. How far we are missing money? How much have we retrieved? Is criminal prosecution the only route to retrieve our money? Wouldn't that take longer? What about civil action? Time no day. Dominic Ayene, Jasisai, and Kofi Bento, he tagged them and all. I'm sure he sits in what
you shouldn't say that I disagree.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of people could also disagree. But I'm sure both of you have agreed.
Do you know why I tend to have a little agreement with what Kujo is saying? And I've heard lawyer Martin Pebu share on this. You see, look, they understand the game of litigation, right? Look, whether Opuni had a case to answer or not, Martin Pebu said something. He said those lawyers who were able to play that game, so Opuni's case drove for 8 years, are still alive and well and waiting for the next client. Exactly. You see, so until we amend our law such that corruption cases is 3 months, this one 6 months, they see, and we force the courts to have clear timelines where cases must be dispensed of, I'm telling you, we may be holding the shorter end of the stick. And this may just be some political razzmatazz that will pass, and then we'll be back to square one. You get it? Look at the election petition. When it haunted us for 8 months, immediately law was done. This thing must be done within a certain period of time. And Justice, the CJ at that time, Enini Abua, ensured it. I mean, look at how he was very dismissive of Chachu. My friend, keep quiet. You have this time, you know, and then, Madam, you are not testifying. Okay, fine. So everybody go home. You don't have any case. And he was sticking to a regimented timetable. I think that NDC, and that's why I have a little challenge with NDC and how they are using their majority. You have these things. Let's set things in motion. We are not applying anything in retrospect because no case has started. We pass a bill. These cases that are related to corruption, it's not going more than 4 months. Related to whatever, it's not going. Now, Mr. Chief Justice, take it up. Whether you're going to set up special courts, going to set on Saturday, Sunday afternoons, whatever, find a way. Let's make sure we keep to that timelines. Then the legal route will help us. Or else, Koku, we should start to enter serious negotiations with people. And I know you've disagreed with me on this. And let's get our money. Ghana is in a bad place.
Yeah.
It's in a bad place. If one person is being accused of taking 49 million, and that is just Ghana cedis, and that is just one of the person's cases, because I'm told there are other things the same person has been interrogated for, which has to do with our money, you know. And then look at the other SML, this, that. I mean, Koku, the money in it, we can just give IMF back their money latest by next year, August, and say, listen, all the money you came to borrow from it was locally in-house here.
That's right.
Take your thing, we'll retrieve the rest to do our routes and pay contractors and let move on. So I think with the short time we have, any means possible for retrieval, and then penal, whatever that will follow. Thanks be to God. But we must use the law first to fast track things, put pressure on the system to get results out. And then let's explore the other options also, of whether they are plea bargains, whatever. Retrieve as much as we can retrieve, and let's get money for Ghana to move.
I see.
And let me applaud Dr. Keselato Forson as well, you know, for the successful meeting with the IMF board. I'm told before this week will end, 367 million Ghana dollars will be hitting our account as part of the tranche coming in. And then also he's paid up the Eurobond, $350 million on time.
That's right.
Legacy debt. I think that the young man is doing something right. I don't understand much economics, but at least the little I have, it seems to me that he's doing something right. And I spoke to a minister friend of mine, you know, a deputy minister friend of mine, and the person made a commitment, said, we all thought we knew Atu and it was our body, but actually he's not smiling at nobody. He's not allowing, so he said, any money you are applying for, go and quote the exact clause in the budget where I've mentioned that line item, and then you rationalize it, then, you know.
I'll disburse.
Yeah. So I mean, that is what started with the Tekpe thing. The gift mix, whatever. Okay. Then it went haywire in our past government, and he's like back to drawing board.
I'm sure there's also a supervision.
I mean the president is giving his full. But Tekpe is at the office of the president.
What advising.
Do you think? What do you think? He's just advising. You think he's just advising?
He's watching.
He's stepping on the clutch and the brake and all the accelerator and everything. You know. So.
Much of the things we discussed, and because this finally, much of the things we discussed are expected to be dealt with the Constitutional Review Committee that was set up by the President. January 21st or 20th, 2025, this particular news item is on the website of Graphic Online. The understanding is that the committee is expected to present its recommendations for constitutional amendments within 5 months for consideration by the government. If I count from January till now, it's more than 5 months. Professor H. Prempe.
I think they gave some updates. And
they are now touring.
Yeah, I think they gave some updates, and then they were told to, I think, step up and do a bit of extensive work.
Okay.
And so I think Professor, he held some press conference with the team.
To whatever.
And that's a Q&A session on it. So I don't know there's official communication about the extended.
We want it. We want that.
And when
it's very important.
Expired.
Very important.
They should take their time.
No,
it's better for
because
to be done well.
In the engagement, what actually came up was that they actually thought that because a lot of work had been done, they were only going to review that and then make an input. But they realized from that they needed a lot of broad stakeholder consultation. And they said they themselves have been shocked at the kind of things they have found. It's almost like the Constitution needs overhauling, greasing, oiling. Is it total? Like that we are going to get a new one out?
No, let's get a new one. Because look, the space, I just feel that much of the work of the
revolution.
No.
I hope you are not a J.J. Rollins incarnate. Because you look like him.
Right?
No, you look like him and you dress like him. I hope you are not a J.J. Rollins incarnate.
I'm just saying.
Marty just married.
I know.
We don't want problems.
The elite would always use the law and the lacuna to always bypass us. And so for us, let's block every loophole. This interpretation sort of a thing.
Block or human beings are evolving.
But fine, we could do that so much so that the loopholes are blocked. Anyway, that's just by the way. A big thanks to both of you. It's always a pleasure having all of you. I think we've had I think it's exciting that the pairs we have over the days. We've made the right choice. One thing we are sure is to pray to God that we'll start paying huge sums of money so that you can even stop your work and be working for us as consultants. Is that okay, sir?
More money.
Anyways, Dr. Justice Apiakubi, I've taken after his humor, right? Dr. Justice Apiakubi is a development expert and also the Dean for Dominion Theological Seminary. Reverend Anaya Bafubon is an architect and also pastors Eagles Network International Ministry. So if you hear them speak and they are deep like that, it's not just because they are men of God. It's because also they have professions that cuts across a lot of sectors. Well, coming up, it's sports. We have sports coming up, right? Okay, we'll be right back.
It's good to be with you again. Thanks for tuning in. Enforcing the Prophetic is one of my latest books, part 2, that I believe will impact your life. I was talking to one of my spiritual daughters the other day. She called me and said she reads her Bible every night before she goes to bed. And I said, that is good, but not enough. And she said, why? I said, reading or studying of the scriptures brings about understanding. But reading is not enough. After you have read and you have acquired understanding, you have to put into action the understanding you have acquired. And that is why enforcing prophetic decrees is very, very, very critical and important. The Word of God is prophecy. The Word of God is the decrees of God. And they don't work until we proclaim it. So enforcing God's decree is proclaiming and declaring with your mouth what you have read. And the Bible said, I watch over my word to perform it. Jeremiah 1:12. Just reading the word is not enough. You got to release it with your mouth and by your mouth. Faith is released by the mouth and not by your head, not by thinking or imagining. It's by your mouth you release. Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mightest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then shalt thou make thy way prosperous. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. So anytime you open your mouth, you should be proclaiming, decreeing, and declaring what is written and what you have read. So get the book, enforcing the prophetic decrees of God. The word of God are prophetic decrees. And God is counting on you and I to declare it, to decree it. Say something in Jesus' name by getting this book to bless you.
What's better than your bestie? A bestie with blockbusters and bedtime cartoons.
GOtv streams your fave soaps, sports, and the loudest laughs.
No extra charge, just internet connection. Your shows, your vibes, your anytime, anywhere bestie. GOtv Stream. Download it now.
We go around just making statements that are not even biblical. God reveals to redeem. It's not in the Bible. God reveals so we can walk, so we can enforce the word of God and the scriptures over the enemy's intent. Any hope and expectation the enemy has concerning your family and your loved one, by the eternal blood of Jesus, we override that hope. We override that expectation. Put your hands together and override it.
The Voice of Inspiration, weekdays and Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. only on Dominion TV.
Barca's season is up and running. Save! Spain are the champions of the world!
Sports Break on Dominion TV.
Are you ready for the drama? Come on, hey, I'm trying. Come on, everybody, let's go. Come on. Hey, come on, everybody, I'm trying. Come on, I'm trying. Hey, I'm trying. Come on. Everybody,
in life, one of the things that I've told myself is, apart from a lot of things that come your way unexpectedly, one of the things that you need to know about is how to deal with the other gender. I'm talking the female gender. And I'm not saying this on any malicious terms. I'm talking about, especially when you are alone with a woman, especially as a man, where they are always said to be the weaker vessels and you are the stronger one. And you have to do anything, if at all, if there must be some agreement, if you are not in a hurry, there must be some agreement that it is consensual, right? It is agreed upon that the two parties have decided on what they have to do. Now, the other side is that if there's a slightest no, if the no is inaudible, it's so faint, no, you cannot even hear the no. Please check again and see if it is a no. The other one is that I pray for every man who is innocent, yet the public court of public opinion will judge you before your matter gets to court. I pray for you.
Amen.
I'm talking about Thomas Partey and the issues that have, surrounded him now. With that in mind, it's time for sports, because it's in the world of sports that's happening. And mostly also at the end of a certain era, or understandably so, if you find your way into the hands of some bad people who are owners of some things, they might fish out some of these things against you. That's conspiracy theory. But of course, Callistus is here to bring you all the details in the world of sports. Good morning, and thank you very much for your time, sir.
Good morning, Kuku. This is a parable from Kuku.
Charlie.
This deep thinking. You can't just put together all that in a second, Charlie. You're a legend, you know.
I tell you, bro. It's a no.
But, very inaudible.
Even if it is faint, run.
The thing is, even if you are in there already.
Run, bro. No, please go home. Go home.
That's an interesting.
Your life is your life.
Yes, and it matters to everyone.
But it's a sad one. I don't know how he's going to get out of this. Yeah. Whether clubs are going to be interested in now people are saying that EPL clubs might not be interested.
That's the thing.
Even when you go to the Arab world, because they are very strict on some of these things, you're going to still find some. But I don't know. You have the details.
All right, so thank you very much for having me. Good day. And I think with the matter of Thomas Partey, former Arsenal player, this started way back in the early days when he signed for Arsenal, the Gunners. That was around 2021, 2022. And from the reports we are getting, it's about 5 counts of sexual assault and rape with 3 women involved. So it's serious than we are seeing over here. And for the records, Arsenal as a club are fully aware the reason they did not extend his contract with the club. So they made sure that the 5 years he signed for, he would just play or just serve them, and then afterwards they would just let him go. So that is one reason why Arsenal could not extend his contract. And there's multiple sexual assaults and allegations against Thomas Partey. Now he's a free agent and no other club would like to contract him, knowing fully well that he has a case in court. He'll be appearing in court next month around August 5th. So hopefully that's when we'll get to understand and know whatever goes on. And that is not yet even the trial. The trial is not yet starting anytime soon. So it's a prolonged case, and for the records, he's been arrested in UK for about 7 times already, and he's being billed. But because the club is involved, Arsenal and all that, English Premier League, they tried to cover the story. So when it first came up, it was like an EPL player, an Arsenal player. Yes, they were broadening it so much that you can't just identify that single player in there. But there's a lesson to all other players or footballers, especially black footballers who are playing in Europe, to know when to stop, when to engage, and when to interact, and wherever they need to socialize, they should really take a cue from that. This happened to Benjamin Mendy of Manchester City. It happened to Dani Alves, you could remember. Yes, so it's not only for black players, it's for footballers. Because of what they get, what they earn, women will always like to and involve themselves in that to make something out of it. So that's it. That's the update on the case, and he'll be going to court next month, and we'll be following keenly to bring you up to speed information and updates on Thomas Partey. But hey, this is Sports Break right here on Wake Up Africa with me, Carl, the Sports General. We've got more details coming up shortly. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, thank you very much. This is still Sports Break right here on Wake Up Africa. I tell you what, sports is a $500 billion project. And unfortunately, in Africa, we are yet to scratch the surface here in Africa. That is quite unfortunate, but let's start from the top and let's go straight to the British Grand Prix in Formula One for you. Enjoy that.
and you'd be given hydroxyurea. And this is because it prevents, frequent crisis, prevent people from having frequent crisis every year. If you've had more than 3 crises a year, you are a candidate for hydroxyurea.
Is it an over-the-counter medicine?
Nope. It has to be prescribed by a physician, and you can't just go to a pharmacy and get hydroxyurea, right? It's got to be
is
prescribed.
Is it pills or is it an infusion?
It's a pill.
It's a pill?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so once you get that, one of the things, the mechanism of action is that it prevents, frequent crisis, and also it stimulates what we call production of, remember I mentioned that the fetal hemoglobin, which is the hemoglobin the baby is born with, is quite potent, it's quite plumpy, tries to carry and house oxygen and then takes it around the body. So hydroxyurea tries to stimulate the production of that kind of hemoglobin from the bone marrow. So you'd notice that you'd have reduced S hemoglobin, and then you have more of the F hemoglobin on hydroxyurea, right? And the dose is well calculated based on your weight. And if you're an adult or you're a child, it's calculated based on your weight. Then it's given to you. And sometimes you have to be monitored. So we always say that if you have sickle cell disease, you have to join a sickle cell clinic, because it's like a team of people who, they know you by name. They know you by face. They know you the last time you came. So, instead of having to go to the emergency room with an acute crisis, you're rather walking in to a clinic, have a discussion,
what
get
happens
tested.
at the clinic?
A whole lot of things. So they actually have a support group, yes, of where you kind of meet together and then discuss issues pertaining to the sickle cell community and share. You have to share medication. They share medication, like tend to know the dates, your review dates. So they give you hydroxyurea, let's say for a month's worth. And then so you're coming back the next month. Sometimes the doctor is even on that page. You want to find out is the doctor available. Maybe you have a question and new symptoms you're having. You just put on the page. The doctor is on the page. So it's a good support group of people, and various facilities have these support group of people. So basically that they follow you up, and if there's any new symptom that you haven't really thought about, or maybe you want counseling for your next pregnancy. So they do all those things, right? Wow. So basically support, and they notice that people in these groups are doing well, quite very, very well, and then people tend to share, their experiences as well. Sometimes a trigger for an acute crisis is stress. And stress...
I was coming there.
Stress can be from so many things. Right. It could be from your job, from your relationship, from the fact that you are not financially stable.
You don't have money. If you don't have money, you are sick. You are so sick. Because I was talking about this whole stress thingy. Your employer does not check your sickle cell level to give you a job. So they expect that you're up and running anytime. Exactly. At the end of the day, they pay you.
Exactly.
So if you cannot, so the idea is, okay, if you can't do the job, just take 2 steps back and we can have somebody who can do it. Probably you're smart enough to do it, but your body cannot contain that much pressure. When somebody's going through all of these, what are some of the basic lifestyle things that they have to do in order to, keep up their work?
Yeah. So first off, you can have that conversation with an occupational health department wherever you work. Okay. They would know how to, maybe schedule times. Now, I've worked with colleagues who have, other conditions, say multiple sclerosis, right? They don't tend to do the night shifts. We work around the clock, so 12 hours, 24 hours. But they tend to do let's say 6 hours, but maybe they'll work more frequently than you who's doing 24 hours and then you have 3 days off. So there's always, it's a human institution. There should be always something to say, okay, because of your peculiar state, these are the number of hours you should work. But maybe you work more frequently than someone who is working around the clock, in this 24-hour economy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I get that. But what if somebody's company does not have these and you want to personally manage yourself? Yeah. Some people can't even bring themselves to speak to their bosses about it. Yeah. So what do we do?
Yeah, so some of the basic things that you can do, I mentioned being on that medication.
Yeah.
So if you present to a facility, they'll put you on that. Another thing is avoiding the triggers. You've got to avoid the triggers. One, extremes of temperatures. right? Like you said, too cold. When you're too cold, the sickle cell the cells become sickled, and then they tend to clog the vessels, So avoid, if you're feeling cold, get something to wear, jackets, something to wear. If you're too warm all the time, and that could also precipitate for some people as well. So you want to avoid extremes of temperatures. You have to be in between, you see. Another thing is hydration, because dehydration can precipitate crisis, right? Dehydration, let's say that you haven't had water. Someone can go a whole day without even drinking a cup of water, a glass of water, and that's very bad, because now you are starving the cells. Now they can't even move freely. They tend to get clogged in the smaller vessels and then cause the symptoms that we mentioned the previous weeks, right? So you always want to take some water, at least 3 to 4 liters a day, especially for sickle cell disease, at least 3 to 4 liters a day. You want to always constantly hydrate yourself to keep that running, right? And I also mentioned the last time that because of the peculiar states of the sickle cell disease, prone to certain infections, especially encapsulated bacteria, you'd have to be, they put some people on prophylactic antibiotics. Right? And that, again, your physician is the only one authorized to put you on that based on his clinical findings. Right? Put you on prophylactic antibiotics, and then have to be vaccinated. Get a pneumococcal vaccine, get a vaccine against meningitis, because you don't want to have these infections, right? And that's what leads me to my next point, infections. So infections do precipitate crisis. So you want to avoid infections as much as possible. You want to, try what you can do, frequently wash your hands, just don't interact with things that could cause you to be infected, right? And then again, if you think that you've gotten an infection, quickly go to the hospital for management. Don't wait till it becomes worse. Some people have a cold, have a chest pain, they can manage it through the day. They just want to, manage. Don't do that. Go to the hospital before it's too late, right? So those are the few things that you can do. I already mentioned stress. Try to avoid stress, and you have to intentionally de-stress, right?
Find time to rest.
Find time to rest.
Right.
If it means sleeping some number of hours, please do. If it means going to the beach, not the Galamsey beach, but very pure.
Yeah, very nice place.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
so if it means going to a spot where, you can just be at the beach, but you're just listening to the sound waves, there's silence and noise, right? So just anything that could help you de-stress. Is it deep breathing?
Listen to good music.
Exactly. Right? Is it going for massage? Is it going out with your loved one? Anything that could, help you forget the stress of life. That is what you want to engage in.
I see. Now, let's talk about women who are pregnant.
Okay.
And probably they didn't even know that they were sickle cell, all of that. Then they found out maybe at antenatal or something like that. Okay, you have sickle cell. Walk us through managing these kinds of patients, till they deliver, during pregnancy and all of that.
Yeah. So you don't know you've been diagnosed with sickle cell disease till you are pregnant. Now, you should know this even before you get married. Right, before we get to pregnancy. So as part of the spectrum of testing for sickle cell disease is genetic counseling. Because that's where it starts from, genetic counseling. If I know I'm AS and my partner to be is also AS, you'll be counseled that these are the risks, these are the possibilities. Do you still want to do it? If you still want to do it, you should be well informed that this can happen. You can get a 25% chance that you can get a sickle cell disease child. Now, when you get pregnant in that state and you are testing at the hospital, knowing for the first time, it's an error, because you should have known before you got married, now before you got pregnant, because it helps you even plan your pregnancy. There's a myth that those who have sickle cell disease are not able to get pregnant. No, that's a lie. I've seen at the ONG department when I was at Cape Coast, quite a number of sickle cell disease women who have, given birth. But you need strict monitoring. Very extremely tight, strict monitoring, because, like I mentioned, some of the crisis, your blood levels, and this blood levels is needed for the placenta, for the baby to grow. So you need to monitor these things frequently. And for some of them, at a particular point in their pregnancy, they need to be in the hospital till delivery. right? For some of them, those who tend to have, crisis whilst they are pregnant, sometimes it could also come with other pregnancy complications. Pregnancy in itself comes with its complication.
Right.
You want to measure with sickle cell disease. So it's a bit tough to manage at home. So you need to be in close contact with your primary health physician, right? So that monitoring is always there. The slightest symptom you have, you voice it out and they know what to do, So it's possible that you can get pregnant. But then again, I always say that genetic counseling. Now, if you miss that step, now you now come to where you can now, for some people and more part of the world, they can do what we call chorionic villi sampling, and then to test that, the baby could have, this sickle gene.
And in that case, do they terminate the baby?
So, in Ghana, termination of pregnancy is against the law, except in certain conditions that have been prescribed, right, by the law. Yes.
Wow.
It's against the law, except in certain conditions, right? So, and then also for physicians who, because of personal religious reasons, are not able to terminate, are free to refer to, other people who can or will be able to do that, right? And then again, we always say that if it has to be done, it has to be done right. Like I said, if it poses a risk to the mother, significant risk to the mother or the child, then there's always, it's always a clause.
Give me a clear situation. So there's a sickle cell mother, has maybe she's pregnant, and she's going through acute crisis. And what could be the worst situation that the mother would be going through that would affect the baby that much that they have to probably take that out?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, it's the complication of the sickle cell. So you can be pregnant, but you are in severe pain, severe joint pain. It would not necessarily affect the baby, but it's affecting you, and you are carrying an extra being, right? So that is even more stressor to you. So already you are having a pain crisis, and now you are being stressed mentally. So these people also need psychological counseling, as well, because you need to cope. Why are you carrying a baby that is already stressful for 9 months, and you're also being stressed with pain, right? And the reason I say you have to be strictly monitored is because now you are prone. Pregnancy tends to reduce your immunity. Now you are prone to infection, so we need to know that you are not getting any infection from anywhere at all, right? We also need to know that you are not going to suffer any of the complications. I mentioned that stroke is one of the complications of sickle cell in young people, right? So you don't want to have that as well. So they need to strictly advise you, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. You need to be on your medications as prescribed, the folic acid, and all that. So you have to be within the confines of, the health zone, so that you know that there's nothing wrong, there's nothing that you're not missing out on anything, really, because it's tough. Honestly, trust me, I've seen women go through this, and it's difficult if you don't have support, especially from your partner. If your partner is not very supportive, you realize that, people tend not to do well, because you're not only going through pain crisis, you're going through pregnancy. You're not only going through pregnancy, you're going through mental stress, because now you don't even have support. One thing we pride ourselves in Africa is the fact that we have support, family support, relative support, as compared to outside world where it's you and your God and perhaps your nuclear family, right? So support we can't overemphasize the role of support when it comes to, chronic diseases in general, especially sickle cell disease.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. So this is why you need this education. So before you get married, I know you're in love with him, and it's okay. I mean, he's your lovey-dovey, but you can build your world around something that will eventually crash.
Yeah.
Crash over pain, right? So let's do this right. Let's get to the hospital. Let's find our sickle cell status. Let's know if we're compatible, health-wise, so that, it's not like love going down the drain. Yeah, but I'm really concerned about. So, is there a situation where they can take the fetus out and nurture the fetus differently keep the mother, you can have both alive at the end of the day.
So you mean outside of the womb?
Yes.
So
outside of the body, literally.
Outside of the body. So in Ghana, we would not be able to do that, if I'm understanding your question very well. Because if you are looking out for treatment of sickle cell, right? Like I mentioned, hydroxyurea, that helps to manage it, right? Now there's cell transplants, right? And that's done for those who are 16 years and below, right? That has been the proven cure of sickle cell, right? Bone marrow transplants, right? And that is very expensive, and not everybody can afford that. So when you say housing the baby outside of the womb, what stage are you looking at?
Maybe, let's say, second trimester. You're unable to carry the fetus till.
No, that's not possible.
It's not possible.
Nah, that's not possible. At what point would they now? Do you get my point? Yeah. But I mean, I think specialized research can, for those who want to opt for IVF, specialized research should be able to identify, the abnormalities in a particular, let's say the sperm, and then knowing that, okay, this female is this, and know that, okay, when we add this together, this is a possibility. Specialized research, I think we should do more research. In Ghana, we don't do lots of research to this area. We just depend on whatever is done in the outside world. I think that is a call to action if we are to, do more research. Like the way we got to find out that 2AS, getting married, there's a 25% chance. I think that we could advance research to find out that what are the other ways of, preventing it? What are the other ways for those who are already caught up in this, circle? What are the other ways to help them out? But then again, whilst we are still researching the other ways, let's start from the drawing board.
The basics, yeah.
Let's avoid it in the first place, right? Avoid it in the first place. We don't have to deal with the stress. Because sometimes you can have all the, butterflies and all that, because it's just for the moment. And then when you realize that it starts happening, I've seen a few years ago, I've seen patients who now their couple is, they're not happy with each other. Whenever they come, they're always quarreling. This one said it's you, this one said it's you. Then I thought to myself, years ago, before you got married, wasn't exactly. So now who's at fault? Because we cannot know, we can't tell, we're not there. Perhaps it's one of them who still pushed for it. That, don't worry, we can do this. Exactly.
I'll be with you the whole
now
time.
They're blaming. It's a blame game. You can't tell, so you just have to, leave them to it. So I think that I should go back to the drawing board. A colleague made mention that in Africa, we are very stubborn.
That's very true. We have God, we're spiritual.
Yeah.
Nothing that, we can.
She said we are very stubborn in Africa, that if we're to be the whites, like by now, they would have eradicated, but we are very stubborn. We say A plus B is C. Don't touch that iron. That iron is hot.
That's exactly.
And that is when you want to pick up the iron and place it on your ear like a phone call. It will burn you to the skin. So you see, I think that we should be very careful, and we should try as much as possible. In as much as, we are trying to prevent it, there are other people who are caught up in it.
Right.
What can you do? They have no
destiny,
say. They have no say. They didn't bargain for this.
Oh, no.
Because perhaps the mistakes of their parents, but they are in it already. So do we neglect them?
No.
That's why we need support groups. Please always find support groups. They are available. People survive. That myth that people don't. Please, I want everybody to take it out of their mind. You
can have sickle cell and survive.
I don't know what people should take it out of their mind. Take good care of yourself, and then you'll be fine.
Well, you heard the good doctor. Take good care of yourself, but let's have the hard conversations, even in the midst of love. Yeah. Let's have the hard conversations. If you're not compatible, no need going there, because that child that's coming with a great future might be, terrified with some health issues. You want to do things right. Thank you to the Bank Hospital for supporting us.
Well, there you had it. And of course, by popular request, we brought to you that conversation around sickle cell. Of course, I'm sure you picked something, as always, being tuned with some of these info and knowledge that we share on the show. And that's how we create a platform and a family for you to join in. Make sure that you are part of it. Do business with us. be a part of the family, even as we grow with you. There are a lot of, some great things, exciting things I'll be bringing to you in the coming months. And so you want to be a part of the family. Big thanks to Aqua Clear Mineral Water, and of course the Bank Hospital, and of course also speedy recovery to my co-host Biadela. We cannot wait to see you soon. Well, my name is Kokuloma. We're back tomorrow to do it all over again. Make sure you connect with us. There are a lot more of other things coming up. At 12 midday today, you can join prayers. You must join prayers by way of the 1 Million Strong movement, where we are gathering to pray for ourselves. And there are also movies. There are quite a number of exciting things that you want to stay on and watch. And so make sure you keep your dial always here. Let it always be on Dominion TV. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. God bless you.